Welcome back. Are you ready to set yourself up for success? And now I'm sure you're ready and raring to go to create your goals, but I really want you to hold off just for a moment because there's still some beautiful lessons that I want you to be able to take away before we start to create our goals. Because most people create their goals without the impact of emotion and without the impact of mindset. So I really want to support you in working out how to create that commitment with yourself to be able to move forward. So this is all about creating your next level promise. So the first key component we just did, which is all about self-reflection, being able to look back at the year that was, take the lessons, take the awareness around how we can do things differently next year. And then we start to unpack what were the excuses that kept you stuck. And now I want you to take this a little bit further. What are the stories you've been telling yourself that you know that no longer serve you? What do you want to let go of now so that when you step into 2020, it's a whole, fresh, beautiful new year that you're going to decide to no longer believe in those stories. They might be stories of, oh, I'm not qualified enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not eloquent enough on video, I'm not smart enough, whatever it is, whatever the enough story is that you're telling yourself, it's now deciding to let that go. You do not have to believe that. The best part about being a human being is that we get to change our thoughts and we get to shift and change our beliefs by choice. So it's all about the choices that we make moving forward. So really unpack it. What excuses did you use last year that kept you stuck? What were the ones that really caused you to stop taking action? And when you start to think about it, we start to really unpack the emotion that goes along with it. So even write down the emotion. I felt desperation, I felt frustrated, I felt angry, I felt annoyed. What were the actual emotions that went along with that? And just write all of these down, because when we start to get them out of our heads, we are able to work through them. So really figure out what were the excuses that kept you playing small? And what is it that you want to let go of to really shift everything for you next year? Because next year is all about what you decide you want to make it. So if you decide to let go of that old belief of it, you not being good enough, then you can start to step into who you want to become right here, right now. So decide now what you want to let go of. Maybe it's the fear of judgment. Maybe it's worry about what other people think. Maybe it's other people's opinions. Whatever it is that you want to let go of, now is the time to decide no more. We do not need to believe that anymore. I'm going to believe something else instead, because I do deserve to have what makes me happy. I do deserve to have a successful, thriving business. It is totally up to us to be able to make those decisions first and foremost for ourselves before anybody else will. Once we know what the stories are and the excuses we've been using to hold ourselves back, then it's time to get a little bit uncomfortable. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to leave you there, but we need to get uncomfortable for us to want to make a change. The reason why most people stay doing the same thing day in, day out is because they get comfortable and they know the certain outcome. So if we want to do something different, we've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so when we look at the excuses, we look at the stories we've been telling ourselves, I want you to ask yourself, what have they cost you? Have they cost you time? All this time you were hoping you were further along, but believing those old stories have kept you stuck. Has it cost you money? All the beautiful abundance that could be coming your way, but the stories are keeping you playing small. Is it costing you impact? All the people that you want to help are still out there waiting because you haven't got the guts to actually show up on video or show up and constantly post on social media. What are the stories that you've been telling yourself? And I want you to write them down so we can get rid of them, because they don't serve you anymore and there's no reason to continue to believe them. So now it's deciding, what is your next level promise to yourself? What are you going to let go of, and what are you going to start to believe? Amazing, well done. It feels so good to make that promise to yourself, doesn't it? And now I want you to think about how you can start to enforce that promise, because it's all about the commitment that you make to yourself. So as you reflect back on everything that you were overcome and were challenged with, and everything that you achieved and accomplished throughout 2019, what are the key non-negotiables that you're going to set in place for 2020 to guarantee your success? So is it that your non-negotiables are going to be taking care of yourself? Is it going to be prioritizing your well-being? Is it going to be prioritizing your time? Is it going to be letting go of old stories and believing in yourself? What is it specifically? What are your non-negotiables? Everyone needs to have non-negotiables. My non-negotiables are meditation, I have to use meditation for me to be able to set myself up well for my clients, to be able to have mindfulness, to be able to be absolutely able to hold space for someone. Meditation is an absolute non-negotiable for me. My health is also a non-negotiable. So really think about what is your non-negotiables for you to be able to be successful this year. And then I want you to write your 2020 commitment statement. So it is, I am committed to. Really look at that and go, what are you 110% committed to making, and why is it so important that you show up and commit to those goals? Because a lot of the time we forget that yes, we can make that commitment, we've got to connect it to our why. So what is your why? Break down your why and start to look at why is it important that you start to make these changes now. I want you to answer all of those beautiful questions, and then I'm going to take you through the next stage of expanding your vision. But as you go through this, if you find that you're getting stuck and you're really not sure what is holding you back, then I have created a quiz that you can take, which is nice and simple. It's 8 questions. It's called What's Holding You Back? And you can take a click on the booklet that I've sent you, or I will also put a link under the video. So make sure that you check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video when we start to expand our vision.